Is 100% no PG funding real? Does it work, and is it possible? So in this video, let's break that down step by step and then what it really means to have no PG funding. What are some of the consequences of not building your personal credit right alongside with your business, and what you can do to improve the situation. Let's get you started. Let's roll out the intro. So what does no PG really means, right? Like, we know the abbreviation of PG simply means no personal guarantee. So that means no personal guarantee, you have no personal collateral or assets or your credit on the line. And that means that you basically can borrow without personally signing with your SSN, which is your social security number. For the most case, a lot of business owners are so used to using their personal information when it comes to signing for loans, businesses, and basically obtaining credit on behalf of their business, that they forget that there are strategies out there in order to qualify for funding using just the business's credentials, using the business's merits on the personal and credit level. So the way to do that is to establish certain type of business credit. But the first thing you want to know is, if you want to do that, you have to follow a series of steps that will qualify you as a person who can borrow based on your business merits without you needing to sign personal guarantee. Now, mind you, there are some dangers to that and there are some restrictions. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the restrictions that you get when you're trying to apply for funding, but you don't want to use your personal credit. So when you're getting a business credit, the first step to understand, if you're not going to use personal guarantee, there are going to be three things that you have to be careful with. Number one, you're going to have tighter controls. So for example, if you want to use certain types of elements of that funding to do things outside the norm of business, which you would typically use for marketing, advertising, and stuff like that, you'd be limited because perhaps the type of funding you got without using personal guarantee is restricted to the specific needs of a business or a specific area of a business, like logistics. So that's the first thing that you're going to struggle with. The next thing is, if you're not using personal guarantee, you're going to get a lot smaller amounts at the beginning. And this is especially true if you have a brand new business. So you have to be careful when you're trying to borrow without using personal guarantee for a brand new business. Outside of the first issue we talked about, which was tighter controls, you can have smaller amounts of funding. And like I said, because of the restriction of the type of funding, you're gonna have to spend it in a specific location. And now that leads us to the element of the type of flexibility that you can have with your business credit. For example, if you have tighter controls and you have smaller amounts, that means you have a lot less flexibility on how you can use that type of money. So there are things around the no personal guarantee space that we have to be cautious about, and those are one of the things that I want you to pay attention to. So let's go on to the next topic. So to truly qualify for no personal guarantee type of funding, only using the merits of your business or the EIN number, which essentially means employer identification number, you have to start with vendors. And most of these vendors are net 30, 14, 60, 90s, all these type of things. And net essentially means that if you're borrowing based on a specific type of vendor who offers business credit, you have a specific amount of days to pay that. And net 14 would be you have 14 days. Net 30 means you have 30 days. Most of these type of accounts report to either Experian Business, Equifax Business, or Dun & Bradstreet, being the most common and universally globally used credit system for business vendors. If you follow that system, then you're basically starting with, with a small business, you have no credit established on that business, no financials prior, then this is the easiest way to qualify. So you start with net accounts with these type of vendors so that you can start qualifying. And eventually what you're doing is you start building relationships with these type of creditors, and they're the easiest to qualify for no personal guarantee. So that's how you start your journey to establishing business credit without using your personal guarantee. Next up, let's talk about how to stack that so you can qualify for more money. Now let's talk about stacking your credit profile. Now we know that net accounts from the creditors or vendors who are offering you financing, or let's say ability to borrow without your personal guarantee, start small. You have smaller amounts, you have tighter controls and less flexibility. But as you start scaling your relationships, as you start getting more business credit, vendor credit, you can start scaling. And there's different tier systems that you can go through in order to scale your credibility. There's a system that you have to follow when it comes to establishing business credit. When you do that, you follow these type of tiers and you start establishing some relationships with some of these vendors and you become more credit worthy. This is how you amplify your credit worthiness so you can qualify for larger accounts instead of the smaller ones with a little bit more flexibility on your side in order to use it as you please when it comes to spending on your business without the personal guarantee. Obviously, what you want to do is you want to make sure that these relationships are strategically built and that you're actually staying financially active with these accounts, which are your tier systems with these creditors, in order to maintain that ongoing financial activity relationship. Similar to personal credit, business credit does require a little bit more aggression when it comes to borrowing and paying it down. The more financial aggression you have towards businesses, let's say if you have a $3,000 limit, no PG, and you borrow $2,000 of that and you pay it down within a month, it looks extremely professional. Not only that, there's a lot of credibility built instantly because of those financial activities. Now, let's say if you were to maintain that for a couple of months, then they'll be a lot more flexible with you and offer you a different type of business lines that you can use in their specific jurisdiction with the controls, obviously. But at least what's happening now is it's demonstrating you're working your credit muscles with your business. Now, does that mean that you don't have to worry about your personal guarantee whatsoever, that you don't have to worry about your personal credit and just put it on the side? Not really. We're going to talk about why you need to work simultaneously with your personal credit as you're establishing your business credit. So by now, let's say you've established multiple tiers, right? Systems of tiers with creditors, you've established solid relationships, and mind you, this may take a few months, right? A lot of people say that, oh, you can get established business credit within 30 days, 60 days. It can actually take you a solid good 6 months to establish it well, and up to a 7th month in order to start bringing in your personal credit into the mix. And here's why you might want to consider bringing personal credit into your business credit mix. Let's assume that you want to get some huge amounts of funding because you have a specific project in mind, that you have to buy a lot of equipment, or perhaps you want to purchase some assets using your business credit, combining it with your personal credit. In that situation, what happens is, because of the established business credit relationship you have, because of some of the minimum requirements from some of the creditors, that you have at least established business credit, and it'll amplify it if you just bring in your personal credit into the mix, you'll get a lot more funding in a shorter period of time. And here's why I say that. A lot of business credit profiles have to be established over a period of 2 years if you want to start leaning and building up a pretty decent scale of credit. But let's assume you have personal credit that can back that, in addition to a short period of time that you've established your business credit, albeit well. Then you're basically amplifying your ability to borrow a lot more in a very restricted time frame, which is important because time is always of the essence. So I want you to keep that in mind, because if you're building your personal credit on the side while simultaneously establishing business credit, you're basically getting the best of both worlds. And that's what I advise all my students in the Ultimate Business Credit Mastery course to follow. Now, there's other things that I teach in that course as well, including asset protection when you're signing your personal guarantee. Let's talk about the benefits of that course. Now, when you sign up for the Ultimate Business Credit Mastery, what you get is the full business suite in order to learn how to build and establish tier systems of business credit. You'll get non-bank lenders, you'll get guarantee level type of funding, including using your personal credit as well as your business combined. You'll also learn asset protection. This is a very critical element in the Ultimate Business Credit Mastery course, because a lot of people who sign personal guarantees, especially now with the whole situation going on, and we know what we're talking about here, there's a lot of businesses that will be a significant amount of risk. So having your assets protected the right way is very critical when it comes to establishing your business credit simultaneously while establishing your personal, to ensure that you've established a foundation of wealth that's untouchable and it's linear to your goals and visions for your future. So if you're interested, for a limited time, I am offering the Ultimate Business Credit Mastery course. As you can tell, it's on my website. You can check it out. But if you're interested to simultaneously build your credit and you're serious about that, I'm giving you a 50% discount on my Ultimate Personal Credit Mastery as well. So I hope that you consider doing this, because it'll definitely help you to scale your business. It'll help you understand the tier system to apply for no PG type of funding, establish solid business credit. And it's not a one-time deal. Once you get the system, once you understand it, you can build hundreds of businesses, and for different industries or specific purposes. It's like having your own investor on the side. So I strongly implore you to discover the Ultimate Business Credit Mastery 2.0. It's actually in the description. I'm sorry, the Ultimate Personal Credit Mastery 2.0 and the Ultimate Business Credit Mastery. So you go ahead and check that out, sign up, and contact me if you're interested in the 50% discount for the personal credit. I hope I educated you throughout this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Hey, don't forget to subscribe if you're new, and if you're already following me, and turn the bell icon on so every time there's a video like this, you'll be first to be notified. And with that said and done, this is your guide and mentor, Ali Taraftar. See you guys next time. Bye for now.